Okay, hello, my name is Leslie Williams and I'm getting ready to show you today's date. Now, the time is actually 12:06. This phone is an hour behind because I didn't add minutes to it before the time period expired concerning when I was supposed to by a certain date and time. Since I didn't add minutes to it, the phone is now not in service. And the daylight savings time has kicked in since the phone has expired from its service. Anyway, so what I'm trying to say is basically this phone is no longer in service, and when it deactivated before daylight savings time kicked in. So it's an hour behind, but it still is operating. So the time is actually 12:06 p.m. on today's date, which is May 6, 2014. I'm going to use the voice command feature, which allows the phone to state the date electronically.
Calling.
Hold on. Need a boo-boo. Okay, just bear with me for a second.
Say a command. May 6, Tuesday, 11:07 a.m.
Now you can clearly see that it's actually 11:50 a.m. Okay, so it's a little bit under an hour behind. Now the reason why I decided to make this video, because I haven't been making a lot of videos pertaining to current events that have been happening at this hiking area. I'm hiking in San Diego, California, in La Jolla. And I've been at this area now since late October 2012, and I am preparing to move from this area. I'm going to make a fast verbal notation pertaining to that is separate but somewhat connected to this hiking area. They're getting online and pretending to be other targeted individuals and making YouTube commentaries on my YouTube videos, pretending to be targets, acting like they identify with some of the things I'm stating, and then making derogatory statements about other things that I'm stating. And even having the dumb audacity to give me general directions about how I can handle the homelessness. Yeah. Like going to Salvation Army. Because these criminal perps already know that I have been gang stalked to Salvation Army, and that's being done in order to excite the memories about what has happened to me as a result of previously reaching out to Salvation Army. It's a technique of gang stalking, and that is done to make it appear that the direction to go to Salvation Army is being done out of concern, but it's actually being done in order to stimulate the episodic memory of what has happened to me as a result of me being gang stalked to Salvation Army. This is literally the cleverness, okay, of these expeditions. That's right. They'll first try and crawl in your head by acting like they're a fellow target and acting like they're identifying with some of the things they're stating. And it's also done to camouflage the intent of what they're doing by acting like a target. And then once they act like they're identifying with some of the things that they're saying concerning what you're experiencing, they will then offer suggestions on how you can deal with what you're currently dealing with as a result of being a gang stalking target. Like trying to say that, oh, well, you know, I feel so bad that you're going through this. Maybe you should reach out to Salvation Army or Goodwill. I've already been gang stalked to both of those places. In fact, I was literally even sexually exploited by a retired firefighter that worked for Salvation Army in Michigan, and they know it. It's the reason why they brought it up, in order to stimulate the episodic memory concerning it, and maybe even to bait me to talk about it. That's right. These are the heinous, clever schemes of gang stalking. So anybody that wants to leave, and the person who did this might even make a comment on this video. That's right. I'm not going to mention the YouTube titles, the YouTube name of the YouTube channel they use. Okay, because they'll probably turn around and say, now Miss Williams thinks that I'm a gang stalker. Do you see how crazy she is? This is literally the bullshit and the schemes that they go to, okay, in order to remind the target that they're a victim of this crime by literally stimulating episodic memories of things that they've already experienced. And to give you a case in point about this, in fact, this is actually a good section of what this video is about. Hang on. On January 30th, 2014, I was assaulted on a sidewalk. Okay, right across the street from this area. That's right. By an individual who was seen by me talking to one of the two individuals that played a role in the Thanksgiving event that took place on the same sidewalk not even 43 days before. And as that event was unfolding, one of the two guys, okay, the guy that assaulted me on January 30th, 2014, was seen talking to, okay, was directly connected to this hiking area. Now let me just backtrack for a second so I can explain the whole entire thing so you can understand what I'm talking about. Just bear with me. And I hope and sincerely pray that you stay with this video. I moved to this area in late October 2012, and within 10 days of me moving here, they set up some individuals to camp out about 100 feet away from my hiking area. And they harassed me on a daily and nightly basis by yelling and continuously and repetitively yelling, gang stalk, gang stalker, gang stalking, aha, gang stalking, suck my you know what, gang stalking, non-stop. They also, after they intentionally let me know that they were associated to this campaign by doing that, had the audacity to then walk by the area. That's right, so I would literally visually see who is responsible for it. They then, after they did that, it's called anchoring, where they will classically condition associations in the target's mind by doing things through either saying things or physically doing things that will let the target individual know that these people are associated to the gang stalking. Just homeless bums that they brought on board. So the yelling gang stalking was their way to let me know that they were brought on board in this campaign. And then after that anchored association was formed, they would then walk by me to let me see who was responsible for it. Walking by me at this area from their area. They would walk by, back and forth, walk by. And that was done to let me know who was responsible for the saying of the gang stalking. Now, repeating gang stalking was their way to let me know and remind me that I'm a gang stalking target and that I was being harassed concerning it. They would say gang stalking, and then they would say, "What's the matter with her?" Gaslighting. It's a term. Gaslight is what it's called. The harassment is called gaslighting, and that term was actually coined from the movie Gaslight. You got to watch that movie with Ingrid Bergman, where this guy infiltrated this woman's life to meet her and date her and marry her so he could get custody of her house by driving her crazy. And he would employ gaslighting techniques to make her think she was going crazy. Yeah, by doing things from a distance in their home. And that's why gaslight is a term that describes gang stalking harassment all over the internet, where they would basically yell gang stalking and then they would say, "What's the matter with her?" Okay, they would perpetrate the crime and then try to psychologically undermine my perceptions about what they were doing by saying, "What's the matter with her?" Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. It's psychological operations. So once they made sure that I heard them repeat it, saying it constantly, plus it's being said along all of my routes, and I got the 800 audio files to prove it, and even video files of it being caught everywhere I go. So the whole goal was to form the association first by having me hear it, and then forming a visual association to the people that they were using to do it by having those people walk from the area to walk by here, in and out of here, okay, from their area. Then they started having them walk by me at Ross grocery store and on the sidewalk across the street once I left this area, and then coming back to it. Now, one of the individuals that was directly connected to that hiking area that has walked by me, not only here, but also out and about in the community, who has gaslighted me as he's even walked by me out and about the community, okay, was seen by me. I mean, he was directly involved in the Thanksgiving event that you're about ready to hear. Let me get out my phone. Okay, right across the street from this area on Thanksgiving Day 2013, him and another individual intentionally got along my route in order to provoke a physical altercation, a verbal altercation. And as they were harassing me, they both said gang stalk together, then one said gang stalking, and then that same one said gang a stalking, I'm gonna F you up. Okay, and this is the audio of that event. Listen. Gang and stalking, I'll fuck you up. Now, the one who said, be nice, and he was also one of the ones that, there was two of them, they both said gang stalk together, then the other one said gang stalking, and then that same one said gang stalking, I'm going to F you up, okay? One of these two guys is one of the ones that is directly connected to the ones that were hiking there. They moved out about 2 weeks ago to an area about 100 feet on the other side of me, okay? Now, listen to this. Now, throughout the entire year 2013, they were not only using them, but they were also using additional homeless people from the area who were being paid off with God only knows what. Okay, because this is organized crime in a system that's hosting and managing these criminal realities. So, on 4 separate occasions, okay, they had another neighborhood homeless skank. He's a male. They had him gaslight me with gang stalking techniques, walking by me and engaging in certain gang stalking, gaslighting physical gestures, which was designed to let me see. Okay? You can go to YouTube and type in "learning disabled woman catches gang stalker admitting sent to harass, read comments." That's me catching 3 teenagers admitting that they were put on a bus route I was already on to engage in these physical gestures. It's their way to let you know you're being gang stalked by repeating certain physical gestures, words, phrases, and even sounds along all your route. That way they can blend in with any environment the target goes into or is at, so they can let the target individual overtly know that they're being gang stalked. That's right, by repeating certain words, phrases, or physical gestures or sounds. That's right, I didn't develop their techniques, I'm exposing them. They're called sensitization methods. Now, so the individual that they got to assault me on the same sidewalk that the Thanksgiving event occurred on January 30th, 2014, right across the street from this area, was seen by me talking to the individual that played a role in the Thanksgiving event. And that Thanksgiving event occurred on the same sidewalk. They are now using him to re-walk by me every day, either on the sidewalk or up at Ross Grocery Store. That's right. And yesterday, which I spent the whole day here yesterday going through property to bag it up to get it out of here because I'm moving, they literally intentionally had him walk by, and then he walked by down up and through here. And I've been hearing voices talking ever since. So we're going to see if that little criminal bitch is used to cause any kind of problems here. Case in point, I leave here to go about my day, come home, and there's something wrong with the tent or any of my property that still that hasn't been moved yet is missing, like this property here, okay, which is in a blue and white duffel bag, or that property there. And I got other additional property that's still here, like some clothes and other camping gear that the property I just have been showing you in that black bag and then those bags over there will be hidden completely out of sight before I leave here. The tent will be left erected, but locked up. Now, understand, a lot of the things that they do are obviously covert and overt because they don't want to be directly busted for what they're doing. Case in point, I believe that when he assaulted me across the street on January 30th, 2014, and then let me see where he went, because he's actually an individual who's hiking up the road right off an intersection. I literally watched him as he left my physical proximity after he assaulted me. I watched him walk into the area where he's been living at. But yesterday they literally had him walk down the hill, walk up the sidewalk up there, and then walk down the hill and walked over to where the criminal bums used to hike out at. Now, they moved out within 2 to 3 days after I uploaded some videos showing me with packed up duffel bags and me stating that these duffel bags are holding my property and that the property is being moved to another hiking area because I'm moving. Within 2 to 3 days of me uploading those videos, the individuals who harassed me for over a year at this hiking area packed up their shit and moved. Okay, but they just moved about 150 feet on the other side of me. Okay, that's right. Now, what they're doing now is they're having the little skank that assaulted me on January 30th, 2014. They're having him walk by me on the sidewalk at Rouse. And now yesterday, for the first time, I seen him walk down up in this hill, and I've heard voices ever since. Now, I believe that they got him to assault me on January 30th, 2014 to bait me to call the police. That way, when the police came, he could say, I didn't assault the bitch, she's crazy, she bothers my friends that were hiking out here, okay, because he was seen talking to those filthy bums. That's right. He would have said, I didn't assault her, she's crazy, and she harasses my friends. Then he would have pointed the finger concerning where I lived, and the police would have said, well, he denied assaulting you, and what are you doing hiking here? You gotta move. So basically, he would have got away with the assault, and he would have been directly responsible for the eviction of me. Now, these are in reference to how they operate. One of the main goals in gang stalking is victimization, to put you in a victimized mindset by assaulting you, and then being the responsible party for having you evicted. That's why the assault took place to begin with, believing that would make me so mad I would call the police. Syndicated cop gets the call, he comes out, they use me. They're literally using me by assaulting me, because anybody's general psychology will call the police after they've been assaulted. They know it. And so therefore what they do is bait the target to call 911. That way, the person they used to assault the target can deny they assaulted the target, and then be used to say that I am harassing his friends, which were hiking 100 feet away, and that I'm crazy, and that she's some dumb bitch that's down here hiking. The police would then say that they got a normal appearing reason to know where I'm living and evict me, using the very guy that they got to assault me. And I already know the police are involved in these assaults, because go to YouTube, listen to this, go to YouTube and type in learning disabled woman brutally assaulted on an MTS bus. Do it. Then look in the description of that YouTube video of me being assaulted. There's a lot of information in it. There's also some attached blogs that are in it that you can click on. Okay. Once you go into these blogs, look for an attached PDF link titled Assault 11. It's real simple. All you gotta do is open up the blog, and then once the blogs open up, scroll down, and you'll see me talking about what the attached PDF link is, and the title of the attached PDF link is Assault 11. By clicking on that, you will open up a printed and scanned email that literally shows I predicted that assault 11 days before it occurred. You will also see other documentation within that PDF link of MTS acknowledging that the assault did occur 11 days after the email was made. Now, then listen to this. Go to Google and go to YouTube and type in Learning Disabled Woman Exposes How MTS Assault Video is Altered. Yeah. Now, the fact that the video MTS sent me is altered was told to the San Diego Police Department by me in person, email, and fax, and the San Diego District Attorney's Office by person, email, and fax. None of them did anything about it at all, period. I also caught an individual on a street corner on February 20th, 2013, admitting to me in a hidden running tape recorder that a San Diego police officer by the name of Steve put him on the corner to engage in gang stalking physical gestures. Go to YouTube and type in 2/20/13, learning disabled woman catches another gang stalker admitting sent to harass. Now, you gotta listen to that video all the way up to the very last second, because you hear me at the end of the video, me stating to that young man, don't put your hands to your face no more. That's right. You'll hear me saying to him, who put you on this corner? And then I go, was it him? He goes, yeah. I go, a San Diego police officer put you on this corner? He goes, yeah. I go, really? What was his name? He goes, Steve. And that was concerning the San Diego police officer who magically made a U-turn in front of us, and he gaslighted me with these physical gestures as he made the U-turn in front of us, and that's why I said, was it him? And he goes, yeah. I go, really? A San Diego police officer put you on this corner? He goes, yeah. I go, really? What was his name? He goes, Steve. Put him on the corner to engage in these gang stalking physical gestures. Now go to YouTube and type in Learning Disabled Woman Exposes SDPD HDQ gang stalking, and you literally hear individuals in the background saying gang stalking right inside the San Diego Police Department headquarters. Then go to YouTube and Google and type in Learning Disabled Woman Exposes Evidence of Gang Stalking, Learning Disabled Woman Exposes Flat Out Evidence of Gang Stalking, and Learning Disabled Woman Catches Gang Stalking, or Learning Disabled Woman Caught Gang Stalking. And what you're listening for is individuals getting around me everywhere I go, every single day, constantly repeating the name of the crime that's happening to me, and that is done to remind me constantly that I'm a victim of this crime by literally getting around me and repeating the name of it everywhere I go. Now remember the audio file that you just heard of the Thanksgiving event. That's right. So we're going to see if anything happens at this area. This area's got a code number and name attached to it. Hold on. That code number, that code name being GILL times 2. I'm a woman, not a man. HA location. That includes me coming home and discovering any theft of any property that is still here, that is hidden close by, out of sight, every day when I'm gone, and or the 10. And that also includes a trespass notice. Now let me just get back to the person who assaulted me on January 30th, 2014, right across the street from this area. Okay? Because they know that when I leave this area every day, I sit on the ledge in order to catch my breath because I got to go up a hill to get out of this area. So once I get up the hill and get to the sidewalk and cross the street, I sit down for a second. And they know it because they've walked by me on a million occasions when I've done it. So they know that I sit on that ledge. So through the stalking and tracking and surveillance of me, they knew I was on my way home that night. That's right. And when they see me see him, they knew that I would not want to come down in this area because he would have crossed the entrance at the same time I would have arrived at it. So they just deduced that there's a great likelihood, as a result of prior events when they've had other people who have they've used to engage in gang stalking of me, they've had them walk by the entrance of this area as I'm approaching it. So they have seen that in my response to that I would just stop and sit on the ledge until they completely walked by. So what they did was deduce that I would just do the same thing again. And that's what I did. That's right. So I got out my video camera to take a video picture of his skanky little ass because I recognized them because they had used him on prior occasions. And so then he crossed the street and assaulted me and used the excuse that I was taking video pictures of him for no reason. Yeah, and that is actually something that the manager of this expedition what they're doing is trying to establish a pattern of behavior concerning why things are happening to me by trying to claim that I'm taking video pictures of people for no reason, and as a result, I'm provoking people's responses because of it. That's right. Because in these expeditions, in order, like the universities are using, they're trying, and MTS bus routes and shit, they're trying to make it appear that I'm doing all of these things because I'm delusional, because I think I'm being stalked by people I don't know. Total, complete bullshit. Let me tell you something right now. Take a look at this. This is a tape recorder, okay? Do you think that an electronic device, okay, has the capacity to have a mental illness? Now, trying to label a organized stalking, gang stalking, targeted individual as being mentally ill is a method of gang stalking, and it's all over the internet. That's right. It's a huge methodology of gang stalking. And since what this is organized crime in the system that's managing these criminal realities, they're connected to judges, lawyers, doctors, police officers, fire department personnel, usually just fire department EMS, but make no mistake about it, firefighters can be involved in this crime as well. And I'm not saying all of them. Of course not. There's a lot of good, decent police officers and firefighters out there that don't even know what gang stalking is. But make no mistake about it, there's a lot of them that does as well. But the point I'm trying to make is this. If you got organized crime in the system that's directly connected to county mental health, doctors in area neighborhood hospitals, nurses and administrative staff, because a lot of this gang stalking is designed to break the target down to cause the target to have a mental collapse, and even when the target individual is run over by a car by them and or assault by them, the target individual calls 911 and guess what happens? Their insurance gets billed. Insurance fraud. It's racketeering. It's part of it. You better believe it is. Now, so what we got to do is, what we got to understand here is that their line of defense in reference to denying that this shit's happening to a target is to discredit the target's mental stability by claiming Miss Williams and every other targeted individual. And I have listened to hundreds of targeted individuals' YouTube videos and looked at their blogs. They're all saying the same thing, that the police are trying to imply that I'm mentally ill. Now let me just tell you something. I just showed you my tape recorder a second ago. Electronics does not have the capacity to have a mental illness. A tape recorder cannot be mentally ill. And right now in my possession, I have over 800 separate audio files, literally, of individuals getting around me on a daily basis, saying gang stalk, gang stalk, gang stalker, gang stalk, gang stalk, oh my god, gang stalk, oh my god. I even predicted at this area before I leave for the day, and I say, let's see if gang stalkers sit around me. I did that throughout the entire year of 2013. Okay? I'd say, let's see if gang stalk is set around me once I leave this area and go about my date for the day. And when I made those video predictions, I showed a picture of my cell phone, which showed the date and the time. Okay? Then, when I leave here, I wear a running recording tape recorder that reflects the date and the time. And then when I leave here and go about my routes, and it said the tape recorder picks it up, but it reflects a later time on the same date, which means that when I make the prediction, like say if I make a prediction at 9 here at this area, I then leave and catch it being set around me at 9:31, then again at 9:45, then again at 9:50, then again at 10 o'clock, it shows that I was gang stalked to these areas in order for them to place these people around me to say it. Now, again, getting around me and repeating the name of the crime that's happening to me is their way to remind me about it, to keep me mentally preoccupied concerning it, and it's also done to harass you. It's called psychological battering and psychological harassment. And it's a clever, overt way to let you know that you're being gang stalked. And since the targeted individual is subjected to individuals repeating non-stop physical gestures around the target, non-stop words and phrases, it totally keeps the target mentally preoccupied about it because they're constantly being reminded concerning it as a result of either seeing the physical gestures and or hearing the repeated words and phrases. They're called sensitization methods. It's a clever way to make you feel stalked by sensitizing you to specific words, phrases, physical gestures, sounds, even colors, and then representing what the target has been sensitized to non-stop everywhere they go. That's why I predict what they will do at this area before I leave it, before I leave it to start my day, and then when the tape recorder picks up what I predict, it will show that I was stalked from here to these places because they had to know when I was there and who I am to do it. Do you see what I'm saying? That shows the stalking. Now, since I got these audio files, 800 of them, it shows stalking on more than one occasion. That shows a felony. It then shows and proves gross negligence of duty by the San Diego police because they denied my civil rights to make a police report. That's conspiracy under the color of authority. There ain't no way any police officer can deny that I ever requested to make a police report about being gang stalked, because as I made these verbal requests, their little bitch asses were being tape recorded. They inherently, directly, with complete malice of forethought and criminal intent, denied my civil rights to make a police report. As a result, it has left me in the continued victimization of this crime and all the crimes that happened to me and my property as a result. Now, you might think, why am I camping? Go to Google and type in organized stalking or gang stalking and how they create homelessness of targets by getting landlords and property owners on board, getting postal employees on board to steal and or delay your rent. That's right, baby cakes. You would not believe what I knew. Understand, tape recorders can have a mental illness. I've even caught people saying gang stalk around me on video file on this video camera and on my phone. Do you really think that's an accident? I don't think so. 800 audio files do not lie, sweet peas. So, one of the main goals in organized stalking and gang stalking is racketeering. They make the target individual homeless. Then they stage these events that are designed to provoke the target to call the police. That way, when this, because see, Mike, right now, I have no doubt in my mind at all that my cell phone is hacked. Okay, and when they're bringing about an event, or like say if I come home on any date at any camping area and I discover property's been stolen, they believe that will bait me to call the police. And since my phone's hacked, what they will do is say, okay, we see she's on the phone because the phone is hacked. Okay, you can go to Google and YouTube and type in cell phone hacking and gang stalking. They use target cell phones as microphones, cameras, and GPS trackers. So as a result of them seeing the target is calling 911, that phone call is pipelined to a syndicated cop. He comes out and says, well, can you prove this person stole your property? I say, no. They say, well, what the hell are you hiking here for? I say, well, because I'm being gang stalked and my rent was stolen. He acts like he don't know what gang stalking is. He then baits you to open up about, to talk about it. You talk about it and he says, well, that sounds delusional. Are you crazy? Then he'll even go as far as offering you services to get out of the homelessness. He might even direct you to a homeless shelter. You go there, you're gang stalked there, you get fed up with it and leave, and then at a later date, another staged event comes about, you call the police, and they make another police report. that you're homeless and won't get out of it, and that you're possibly mentally ill because you're claiming you're being stalked by people you don't know. The whole goal at the end of the day is to take these police reports, and they will even petition a Target County Mental Health intentionally and deliberately for false mental diagnoses. And why is all this being done? In order to take the social services reports about you being homeless, the doctor reports about falsified mental illnesses that they're claiming are legitimate, and the police reports, in order to take syndicated probate control of you, that's right, to place you in a syndicated organized crime group home, so they can use you as a straw person to either co-opt your existing finances and or to apply for federal and state funds per person that they do this to. Just go to Google and type in organized stalking or gang stalking in group homes, foster care homes, institutions, the prison industrial complex. It's racketeering. And that's why they create the destitution to begin with. Do you see what I'm saying? And then they just use these schemes, okay, to make it appear that the police are being called for these police reports, and the petitioning of the Target County Mental Health is happening because of normal appearing reasons. Basically, what it is the filthy sewer rat, snaked out criminal fucks in the San Diego Police Department who are connected to these organized crime syndicates, who are using their employment descriptions to do these things. It's racketeering. It's also human trafficking. Yeah, go to Google and type in human trafficking and gang stalking. Do it. These are nothing but schemes that are brought about through covert maneuvers, tactics, and methods. Is all they are. And if you don't think that I don't know what I'm talking about, baby cakes, understand. I have been a victim of this crime openly now since 2001, and you would not believe what I have witnessed before my eyes. This happening to other people in another state. Gang stalking is happening in every state in the United States, and after I became aware of the name of the crime that was happening to me, I have done nothing but exhaustive, extensive, non-stop research of other targeted individuals' blogs, lawsuits, YouTube videos, petitions, and they're all saying the same thing. Okay? Racketeering, human trafficking, insurance fraud, identity theft, land co-opting, property co-opting, mortgage co-opting, trust fund liquidation. You would not believe what I know. And even, check this out, this is going to really blow your mind. Just Google it. Non-consensual human experimentation of targeted individuals. Just Google it. Now, gang stalking targets have been covered on the local news broadcast, national radio shows, and national TV shows. So this is a crime that is being recognized by the public. It's just that the public, okay, this crime is starting to get more exposure, but I'm going to guarantee you something right now. These syndicates aren't going to stop what they're doing because they're making huge amounts of money off the target's property, their insurance, their bank accounts, and the human trafficking of the targets and their children. You would not believe what I know. And as far as any syndicated law enforcement out there, especially the San Diego Police Department law enforcement that's watching this video right now, and I know you're watching it, right there, buddy. That's right, I have no problem with giving your little bitch ass the finger at all, because my life is my life, you criminal little skank, okay? It's not your life, you filthy little sewer rat. It's my life. And I want to tell my viewers something. I lost my ability to have children because of what's happening to me, okay? Now, if you got children, you think about, when you look at your children, you think to yourself, what would you do? Or what kind of feelings do you think that you would have if you lost your ability to have children or lost your children because of filthy, sewer rat, criminal police officers who are involved in organized crime? What kind of feelings and thought processes do you think you'd have if a police officer was directly connected to the reason why you lost your ability to have a child? That's a real question. Okay? Think about it. I gotta go. I'm in San Diego, California. Let's see if I'm in La Jolla, and let's see if anything happens at this hiking area and the new ones that I plan on going to, including on today's date. I do appreciate you listening, and please investigate these crimes, all the descriptions that I stated in this video, and you will see that I'm telling you the truth. And in closing, I just want to state, for the record, I'm not involved in any illegal or criminal activity whatsoever. I'm not a threat to myself or others. I'm not mentally ill. I'm not involved in, I don't drink, I don't do drugs, I don't do none of that crap. I'm a Christian woman. What I'm doing is exposing what's factually happening to me, the lies and the methods and the schemes and maneuvers and employment descriptions that's responsible for it, okay, so you can know the truth. That's all I'm doing. And I hope and pray that you research these criminal realities. Thank you for listening, and have a nice day.